I use the Doxygen program to generate HTML documentation, and it produces a folder called HTML, which when expanded has lots of files in it, and there's one called index.html index. So when you run this, it brings up the HTML linked documentation, and I used to use this a lot more than I do these days, but I did set it up a year or so ago to work with the PIC32 project. And so if you click on files and file members, I'm hoping I'll remember how to do the basic things here. And here you could get a list of functions, variables, or macros, or everything. And now they're alphabetical. So if you have some idea of the name of one function of interest, and I don't know that I will look for anything particular here, but let me just start off with D. And so if I were looking for something to do with the dash paddle closed, I'm just randomly stumbling around here. This shows me that dash paddle closed is a Boolean function defined at line 524 in paddles.cpp. If I click on, well, before I do that, it tells me that this function references these items, which I could click on to go to them, and it's referenced by these functions. So it's pretty easy to navigate around once you have a starting point. I'm just going to go into where the definition of the function is. And so here's the function, and I expect it to find some hyperlinks in here. Okay, there's one like paddle reverse mode, and it tells me where it's defined and what its type is. And if I wanted to trace a function like this, okay, there's some things that will not work in here because of the conditional compilation. So I have no idea how this one will work, but I will go to that, and it did take me there, and this shows that it's referenced by many functions. So I could randomly pick some shift scroll lock, and that took me to shift scroll lock, and just randomly looking around in here, here's one that calls erase EEPROM initialization word. This applies to chip kit boards like the Uno 32 or the Micro C32, where they still use the EEPROM. This function is not used at all by the Fubarino or the Picadillo, or Picadillo, maybe it's actually pronounced. So anyway, if you're looking to trace your way through the code, it is possible to, as long as you have a starting point, to pick something. If I'm looking for just functions, there's a list of functions starting with underscore, which are special, I forget the name of them, but special things that the compiler looks for. And if I'm looking for functions beginning with A or H, handle CW timer keyboard interrupt, and I'm going to go there, there's the function, and if I wanted to find, okay, this one is referenced by this, which I believe just means that's an interrupt handler for the CW timer keyboard interrupt. And if I go to the function, so this is this function. If I go back, I think this will take me to the interrupt function itself. So that's here, and so this is a CW timer. I was trying to figure out what the keyboard meant, and now I know the timer that generates the precise element durations and space durations is either running because of CW that's caused by the keyboard or by the paddle. So there's two different handlers here. This is the one we were just on, and here's the other one. So depending on the current mode, so the CW generate mode, if it's keyboard, we go to that one. If it's not keyboard, it is therefore paddle by definition, and we go to that one. So anyway, once you get used to it, this can be a pretty handy way of navigating the project. So with that, I will find out how to stop this video and see if it actually works.